will be the last one we'll be doing here for a while. So we are looking for a venue. If anyone knows of anyone of a company that has space, please get in touch. Second, speaking of billion-dollar things, Slack. If you guys are not on our Slack room, it's a good way to kind of connect with people, get your questions answered. You can just go to slack.javascript.nyc, and that'll get you the invite to Slack. I've gotten my questions answered all the time. It's even easier and lazier than Stack Overflow, because I don't actually have to format anything. I can just say, hey, how does an if statement work? And then someone will just kind of tell me right away. It's usually Jeff. In case you guys didn't know, Jeff and Wong, hands up, two organizers as well that help coordinate all this. Speakers, we already have March mostly lined up, but we have a couple of slots, so we're looking if you have anything interesting to talk about. If there's anything interesting you want to learn about, get in touch and we can try to coordinate around that. Hackathons, the weather's getting a little warmer, so we wanted to try to organize a hackathon. Show of hands, who might be interested in a hackathon? I wonder if the response would have changed if I made everyone close their eyes and then raise their hands. But I guess we'll never know. Thoughts for hackathon? What do you guys think of themes or what works? Shout it out. Okay, so coding in silence will be the theme of the hackathon. No headphones, no music, no conversation of any kind. But we've done a couple here and there. With like 6 hours or something is probably a reasonable kind of time frame. Just to kind of make something cool. We've done hackathons in the past where if there's a small enough group, we can all make one thing, or if the groups get larger, we can make 2 or 3 different things. So any opinions or preferences or things you hate about life?
Yeah. Like hackathons where you can actually have a team that isn't necessarily just a technology team. It can be a mixture of people that are just collaborating.
Okay.
I also like hackathons where you can find a sponsor or some type of mediator.
All right. And that's all my housekeeping stuff. Jeff, you guys have any housekeeping kind of things? No? Cool. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to present to you Sam Jones. Sam is from a consultancy called Test Double, and your title is not senior software engineer. It's not programmer. And
No,
it's not code ninja. So what is it?
I'm a double agent.
Double agent.
Makes my LinkedIn a lot of fun.
We just upped the game of code speak. And you're from Philly, right?
I sure am.
Which is the only other city close to here, because all of New Jersey doesn't count, which is where I'm from. So it's just New York City, empty space on Google Maps, and Philadelphia. So, and you're going to be talking about conveniences.
Sure am.
Specifically, things that we assume we know, but maybe we don't. So, Sam Jones, follow him on Twitter.
Everyone, how's it going? Thanks for having me up. I am from Philadelphia, so I took the train up today. I'm taking it back down tonight. Nice, easy train ride. It's probably shorter than some of your commutes, so I like that. I sling code in a lot of different languages. I started out with good old Java. Anybody here done Java? Who's thankful they're not doing it anymore? All right, so since then I've spent time writing Ruby, JavaScript, even a little bit of Haskell. And regardless of the language that I'm writing this week, there are some things that never change, and those are my values as a developer. And I value communication above all else in the code that I write. When I'm not coding, I have some boring hobbies, nothing exciting enough for my introduction. But I cycle, I cook, I'm a husband and a father. I have a 21-month-old daughter. She's starting to string phrases together. It's awesome. And I have a 6-month-old son who's just about to crawl. He ate peas for the first time for dinner tonight. Big deal. So, yeah, that's my home life. I work for Test Double. Test Double is a group of awesome people who like to write nice code. So if you'd like our help writing nice code, you'd like to write nice code with us, or you just want to know what that means, we're on Twitter at TestDouble, or you can email us, hello@testdouble.com. I also organize a Software is Craft Meetup in Philadelphia. It's a great community, and I think it's it's focused on more worthwhile talks than just the latest JavaScript micro-templating framework. So if you're ever in Philadelphia, on the last Tuesday of the month, stop by and say hi, or you could pitch us a talk, return the favor, come down, take the Amtrak down to Philadelphia for once. I know people don't like to leave New York, but some people do. All right, so today I'm here to talk about conveniences. A convenience gives us the ability to do something with little effort. Conveniences make us more productive. They make life easier. But is that always better? I'm sure you can think of some examples of things in everyday life that are easy but have large repercussions, like maybe disposable plastics, fast food, sometimes even Slack. What about in JavaScript though? Which conveniences do we take advantage of? And which of those conveniences are actually taking advantage of us? In JavaScript, objects are convenient. Using the new keyword to create an object is too hard, so we can just use an object literal instead. That's convenient. A new object with some properties, well, that's convenient as well. And to string, not to string, it doesn't actually matter. Convenient. And once we have an object, it's a breeze to define a new property on that object. And once again, we have lots of options for getting it done. Convenient. This is especially great when you don't really know what your key is going to be. And we can define objects wherever it's most convenient. Like, for example, this function takes an options object, so we're just going to define it in line, pass it right in. Convenient. And changing values in a deeply nested object, well, that's a breeze when you have libraries like Lodash to help you out. This came straight out of the Lodash docs. We don't even have to check for null along the way. Maybe this one is a little bit too convenient. In JavaScript, functions are also convenient. Our object properties, they can be functions as well as values. And once again, we've got plenty of options for getting it done. Convenient. We can call that function later just by accessing the property, even if we strip it off of the function and store it for later. Convenient. And surprise, turns out functions are actually objects. That one's pretty convenient. And we can use functions in convenient ways as well. Like here we provide a transformation as an argument to a higher order function map. Or give a callback to an asynchronous function. Or define a promise chain with a function that's going to be executed later on. That's pretty convenient. But let's be honest. Those basic principles that make objects and functions convenient, they do allow us to do some really awful things in JavaScript. So let's write a function where we pick apart some of the most short-sighted of those conveniences. So first, we want our function to give us a thing, and then we do something else with it. And this is basically every single function that I've ever written. And here's something that happens pretty often. When we try to get that thing, we actually need to provide some query parameters, so we'll just do what's convenient, and we'll define the object in line. But wait, that function, it doesn't actually return our thing. It returns our thing wrapped in this weird result object. Conveniently, though, we can destructure the value that we need. But then we run the code, and the next function, it actually needs a special kind of thing. It needs a doodad, a new domain concept. We can make a doodad by setting one little value deep inside of our object. We saw how to do that with Lodash, so let's do that here. And conveniently, we're able to change the type of object that this is. But it turns out that we actually want the original result with the status from the second action. This is getting to be pretty complicated, but the deadline for this story, for this card, it's coming up, it's fast approaching, and we have to get this done. So what should we do? Well, functions have scope. So we could just nest another promise chain inside of this one. And as long as we don't forget any returns along the way, we're good to ship. Our boss is going to be so happy. We've done this just in time. And all of this is thanks to some of the conveniences of JavaScript. At least that is until we try to ship and Travis tells us that code coverage actually went down because we didn't test this function out. The deadline's still coming, but conveniently Travis is telling us we're not done. So what do we do? So I see this happen when teams test because it's what they think that they should do. But then the tests are written after the code or they're deprioritized to hit a deadline. And when I see this, there's something missing, and that's confidence. There's no acceptance criteria, so done is a fuzzy concept. Tests are written to match the code that exists, not define what done means. So when it's time to deploy, everybody is scrambling. So no wonder the next time that team feels pressure, those tests get skipped. They're skipped because they didn't actually provide much value the first time around. Anyways though, our managers are tracking code coverage, so we actually do have to test this. So this is basically what we need to do, right? We call our function and we make sure we get back the right result.